Hi everybody, I want to thank you all for joining me for this third installment of our Hot Tech webinar series. So I am Sean Nufer, and on the call with me is Thad Stott. He's going to be helping me. He's my instructional technologist. The two of us have the charge of researching ed tech, what's relevant, what's new, what's engaging, and how we can help our professors integrate that into their classes. And so the two of us tag team with this. So he'll be on the call fielding questions. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the questions box or the chat box. You should have a link to the course that we're going to be reviewing in the chat box. If not, send me a message and we can redistribute that to all of you. So I'm going to close this down. We're just going to dive in. I'm hoping that this round will be a little bit shorter time-wise than our previous sessions. I'm hoping to get through this in about 35 minutes if we're lucky. So I have 5 awesome platforms that I'm going to show you, and we will just dive right in. So, and again, this course is open and free for you to explore. The link's up at the top or in the chat window. So the first one is Canva, and you can see the list of what we're going to tackle today. Here, Canva Quizlet, Nearpod, Logster, and Padlet down at the bottom there. So I have here a link to the Canva webpage. Have it pulled up on the tab here. So Canva is one of those platforms that's free for you, but also if you want to give them money, then they'll take your money and give you some more options. So with a free account, which is what I have, I'm satisfied with what they give me for free. You can create a design and integrate that. It's a very creative image into your Canvas course. So they give you, this isn't just for education, but for social media and such. They give you a few templates to choose from. A social media poster like Instagram. If I click here on more, they give me a lot of options here. So a Twitter post, a Facebook post, or a Facebook, what do you call that? The Facebook title image at the very top of the screen. You can choose from a number of these things. And so I'm going to look for, let's see, I had it earlier. We'll find something for my course. Maybe this Twitter post is about 1,000 by 500. So let me start there. Where I'm going to get my hands dirty. We'll just explore this myself. So it'll give you a lot of heads up. Essentially, you don't need to have an expensive program like Photoshop in order to do basic photo manipulating. This program will let you do that. You can search for images. There are lots of very professional images out there for free. They also have other professional images that you can pay for. And so I'm going to start with a layout. Maybe I'll search for what do they have? Psychology. I'm going to create a banner that is a welcome page for a course, for example. So let me start out first with I'm going to search down here for relevant layers. I want something that speaks to psychology. I found a good one early today. I'm going to try and scroll for that one. I'm taking a moment. I might have to settle. Let me settle for, this is a little bit photography. Let's go with this one. That looks pretty fun. So I have a basic layout, and it has text. Now, there's tutorials that you can go through that will teach you about manipulating things, but I'm just going to take this text and I'm going to say, welcome to neuropsychology. This is the name of the course that I will be creating right now. Welcome to neuropsychology. I'll stretch that out to be about there, and you can see basic. There's font sizes. I kind of like the font size they gave me. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Maybe, let's see, maybe a touch smaller than that. I'll put my name right here. Dr. Sean Nufer, and I can realign that. Okay, now I'm going to search for those psychology images, something related to neuropsychology. I'll say this one. Now you notice this costs $1, which might be worth it. I'm going to go ahead and click that. If you were to get a stock image, it would probably cost a bit more. Oops. Why is it? Oh, it's scaling it automatically. I'm going to move this down here, scale it. Oh, geez. I'm coming up with some technical difficulties here. It's wanting to scale that. So let me try and crop it here. I'll just want to a little portion. I don't know. It's having some difficulties as I try and move it around. I'll use the keyboard here and move it. Ideally, I'd like to move it up to the top corner. Spacing. Honestly, I don't know what's going on there. So let me forget about that. Oops. Now I'm getting some weird stuff. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to replace the content. I haven't come across that issue before, but I can have different elements. Let me search for free photos. See if there's something that appeals to me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a grid or a shape, just for the sake of an example. I'll put a shape on here. Now the color, in any image that you use, you also have filter options. I think Instagram, if you wanted to change the tone, the dynamic of the picture, you also have advanced options where I can maybe desaturate or change the tone or the tint, apply X processing, maybe vignette it, which for this image might not. Well, it kind of has something of an effect there. I can crop it, I can flip it, adjust some spacing. I can put additional text, and there are a lot of different options for text. A lot of free things. I can change background to different textures or colors. I can upload content and put the content on there. I'm going to probably just delete that box. Let's just keep it like this. You can do a lot of different, explore the different layouts and such. But here I can download it. There are different options. There's JPEG, PNG is recommended for if you're doing this on the internet. And another option that I didn't show you is that if there's an image with no background, you can have that be transparent. So PNG would be a good source to export if you have a transparency, no background. You can also print it out as a PDF. I'm going to choose PNG, and here would be that option to have a transparent background. So I'll go ahead and download that. Creativity is intelligence, having fun, says a very intelligent person. All right, so now I have an image down there. Let's hop over back to Canvas. I'm going to create a content page. I'm going to create a new content page. Canva demo. I'll indent it. Put it down there. I'll move it there. Oops, that didn't do anything. Drag and drop. All right, so this could be the home page in a course. It could be anywhere. So I'll go ahead and, or upload the image rather. So I have it in my download file. Welcome to neuropsychology. Hey Mark, you're kind of typing loudly. Do you mind muting yourself? Thanks. All right, and just like an image, so at this point it's a flat image, meaning that there are various components oops, I'm on this page. Various components on the page, just like in Photoshop. You might have layers, you might have elements and text, but then you export it and it can export as a flat image. And so it might be an interesting way to create content for a content page within your modules or units or a home page. You can adjust you can make it more of a banner, so a little bit flatter and wide. So Canva is a very interesting way. It's a web-based platform, so you don't have to download anything to your computer except for you'll download the file at the end. Or if you just want to share it, then you can have a link, and let me see, so people can view this. And I should be able to go back to my page here and just use that link. If I don't want to download it, then I can embed an image from the link. Oh, it didn't work. Why did that not work? Let's figure it out. Or embed. Let me. So I'd have to change the settings so that it's public. I can grab an embed code, and that would work. Or show your interactive design as an interactive website. So there are various options to dress up your course, make things more interesting. And this is despite my challenge right at the beginning, I apologize for that. This is a very intuitive program. It's very easy. You can share your designs. You can take inspiration from other people, create a brand. A very interesting platform to explore. So I'll go ahead and save that. And I'll publish it just in case you're on the site and you want to see what that looks like. So the next thing that we're going to explore is Quizlet. And I imagine probably a lot of people have experience with Quizlet, but some people might not. Quizlet's a great way to make interactive flashcards, and you can embed those. You can either share the flashcards with your class or have your students create flashcards for themselves, or you can embed it in the Canvas course and everybody can have access to that. So you would sign up for an account. Again, Quizlet is free. If you want to give them money, they'll give you more things and make it worth your while. I'm just using the free account. And you can search for flashcards that already exist. Maybe I'll search for arts-related flashcards. And I can see that various teachers and students have already created many flashcards, and I can see a sample of their deck right here. So here's somebody who's teaching the difference between sculpture and drawing and all of that. So I went early and I copied a slide deck from another professor as a psychology slide deck. And so if I click on that, then I can see the status of my slide deck. I can select different things. So here I'll click on flashcards, and so I can show this deck as flashcards. It's 150 flashcards, and I've gone through seven of them or so. I'm on number 7 and 6. I can see the terms. I can edit the terms. Here's some shortcuts. If I want to flip the card, I can click on it or press spacebar and it'll flip it. I can just play it. There are various options. I can start with the term, or I can start with the definition. So here's the definition, and then I come up with the term. Or if you're just starting out, or the students are just starting out, you can give them the option of having both, the term and then the definition.
That psychology should be an objective.
Right, and so you have the option of studying. So I have various terms and definitions. You can have them as flashcards. You can have them as the ability to learn. So here's the definition. Maybe I don't know it, or I do know it, and I can type out the answer, and then I can see which ones I get correct. So it's kind of like a test, although there is a test as well. So that's just kind of like a regular test that you'd see. The matching will have the fronts and backs of various cards, and you have to drag and drop and pair them. There's a couple of other games as well. But what I want to show is how this integrates into Canvas now. So on the Quizlet page, I have a link to the web page, which I was just on. And here I embedded the flashcards onto the page, which, so going back, if you click on share you can embed, you can export it, there are various options, and you can determine, do I want them to match, to learn, test, flashcards, spell, and if I change these, then it changes the code slightly. Just this portion of the code right here, flashcards.embed. So you go ahead and copy that, and I'm hoping that you're okay somewhat with the HTML editor. You would click on the HTML editor, and you would paste the code right there. So I've already done that, so I'm going to cancel out of that, and we'll see what that looks like from here. All right, so the code that I chose when I embedded this was the matching thing. So you can start the game. So it has a timer. I have various options down here. If I want to start over, for example, refreshing the page would do the same thing. And so then I have the various terms, and I have to combine terms with their items. You know, let me. So as I drag and drop and combine the things, then they go away. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that the student also has the ability to change the mode himself or herself. So I'm going to go from matching to learn, or maybe flashcards. I want to show you what the flashcards look like because it's pretty sophisticated here. So you remember I had the option for both. I want to start with just the term. And then I can choose to have the audio on or the audio off. I'm going to turn the audio off just for now. And you can see there's an edit button right here. That's because I'm logged in as a teacher. So let me go ahead and log out of that and refresh the page so that I get more of a student view. And go back to flashcards. So then you can see, now I can't edit. I could only edit just because I was logged in already. There's a keyboard with items there, and I can walk through.
Neuroscience.
I'm going to turn the audio. Audio should be off.
Interdisciplinary study of the brain activity linked with cognition.
I guess when you turn the audio on, it automatically plays. I can star these if it's a term that I'm having a hard time with. Pressing spacebar to jump between these, by the way, and I need to go back to this. Then I can star it. I can shuffle them up. So it's a very interesting platform, and there's various modes, ways that you can integrate it into Canvas. So yeah, definitely explore Quizlet. I think it's a very fun, flashy, interactive thing, especially for the intro courses that you might teach, where terminology is a very important part of the learning. So the next thing I will show you is Nearpod. Nearpod is very interesting. Now this tends to be a K-12 platform, I would say, and I don't have a poll of the attendees. If anybody's K-12, I know we have a lot of Canvas participants, or higher ed. I happen to be higher ed, but I still find some value in Nearpod, even though it's marketed more towards the K-12 audience. So Nearpod, you can think of it as a lesson plan, maybe a PowerPoint, an interactive PowerPoint, but the value in it is the interactive portion where students can interact in real time. As you're giving the lesson, you can receive feedback from them, and they can view it on their mobile devices. So it could be within the classroom, or you could be teaching a session online, and they can be viewing the slides from their iPhone or from their tablet or whatever. And again, you can explore, just like the other platform, you can explore lessons that have already been built. You can determine your subject matter expert, your subject matter, or you can create your own. And if you find something you like, you can copy it if they give permission to copy it. And so here's a lesson that I copied from, I believe, a high school teacher on intro psychology. And so I can preview this, and you can see it goes as a slide deck of sorts, and I can go in and edit this. I can share it, which would give me, we can cover that later. That's how you would embed it. It can be either student paste, which would be the equivalent of emailing them a PowerPoint presentation and they can go through the slides, or it can be a live lesson. And so let me click on live lesson here. I'm going to go and click no. So here's an interesting thing. I'm going to go ahead and copy this link, if anybody's interested, into the chat, and then you come up with the code right there. And bear with me for one moment while I'm getting my phone up. I'm going to follow along with this lesson on my iPhone. All right, so I'm mirroring. I'm going to pull up Nearpod. I'm clicking join at the bottom there. I'm going to enter in that code. Oops, I was typing on my keyboard on my computer. I'm on my phone. Okay, so MDPNE and join. All right, so now I'm joining. I'll put my name is Sean, and I'll send that in. Let me put this over to the side there. Okay, so now I'm going through a lesson. So as a teacher, I'm going through it. Again, this is what I'm seeing on my iPhone on my desk here, and this is what I'm doing as a teacher. So we're on a slide. Who are you? Answer the question in terms of characteristics that make up your identity. All right, so I'm going to come over to my phone here, and since we just had May the 4th, I'm going to say, I'm nobody. I'm going to say it stoically as well. Confirm that answer. Yes, I'm nobody. And then I can see from the teacher end, I can see the students starting to respond to that. And I can share it as well. So I can say, okay, here's a response from nobody. He's nobody. You can unshare that. And so if I wanted to share other student responses, then I just click the share, and then that would appear on the student page there. So I'm flipping through, and you can see there's a little bit of a lag just in between the phone and my computer sharing the screen here, but it's pretty instantaneous, I would say. I can go ahead and add an activity, and I'm going to say, let's add an open-ended question. I don't know, what's up or something. I can add an image. It's welcome to neuropsychology, the image that we shared. All right, so what's up? But I mean, that could be more along the lines of, what is this? I identify this part of the brain or whatever. And here I can respond, not much. Confirm, send the answer. If anybody else wants to contribute, I don't know, I guess nobody is logged in, but all right, so then I can close that activity. I can show names or hide names. So it's a very interesting way to have a synchronous lesson, I would say. All right, so I'm going to close out of that. So that's Nearpod. It's just a synchronous way to present things. And I think the value, you can explore the Nearpod platform, and you'll find that there are some more features that I'm not able to get into. But it's a very interesting platform, and you can get real-time feedback from students as you're going. So you can do polling, and you can get responses. It's a very interesting thing. So Globster will be the next platform that we're exploring. I put a link here. Actually, Thad put a link here to a couple of articles, some case studies, and templates. If it's okay, Thad, well, I'm just going to keep going in the presentation, but feel free. There's a lot of research behind the use of imagery in your lessons and the benefits to platforms like Globster for engaging students. So here you log in. You can sign up for a free account. Again, the interface is perhaps not as clean as some of the other platforms that we've explored throughout this series, but it's a good platform. I don't know why is that not deleting. So you can log in. It's having some errors. Let me refresh this page. I'm going to create a new glog, I'll create a new blog from a template here. I'll use this template, leisure time. And it's interesting because it's kind of like a canvas where you can add, you just get some, you get space where you can add elements. They can be interactive elements, or it can be static. It can be kind of like Canva where you're building a page, except for the Canva, it really excels in the Photoshop aspect of exporting an image and you have a flat image in your course, where Glogster can be a little more interactive, I think. So you can put texts and paragraphs on the page. You can see some of them are here already. You have options for modifying the elements, changing the font maybe. I can put a new paragraph, a new heading, a new paragraph. There are various elements that I can put on there, so the text would appear within this. I can drag that there and modify the text like that, and there are various styles. So, oops, scroll that way down. So I can go back, go to the retro and have some retro text if I wanted. Click use it, and then I can drag it to where you want. You have basic formatting options. You can also include so various text options and text within graphics, or you can have flat out graphics. So there's art, kind of like a clip art theme. I can include something like this and then put text within that. There are images. You can upload an image, get an image from the crowd, or capture your own image. Maybe search for an image. I would search for oh, I like this feature. Yeah, if you want to search for an image, give them some money, and they'll take care of you. I guess I haven't given them any money, so let's see some of the templates. We have some art templates here. I can scroll through. We have grunge. We have texture. You can have a solid color. Search images is another one where you can give them money and they'll give you some more options. And you can include audio or video or data as components on here, and that's where it really gets interactive. Put in a video that will play, put in an attachment right there, and then I'd go ahead and save that. I feel bad saving that as a lackluster. That's a very interesting one. All right, so I'm going to hop back over to my dashboard, and I can see it right there. All right, so here's my Glogster. Then you have various options, and so it's an interactive type of way. It's kind of like Canva. You can embed it onto your page. You can choose what size you want to. They have two defaults, or you can determine the width and height. So you go ahead and copy that. It copies as an iframe, which very easily embeds onto a Canvas page. And here's some examples. We have 4 examples of what a Glogster would look like within Canvas. Now, I'll point out that one of the problems is that you're going to have if you have a pop-up blocker, you might need to load the script manually. So I am going to load it, and that could be a big drawback. You might need some instructions at the top saying, hey, this is very interactive content, but you might need to click a button in order to see it. So here's an example of a Glogster. It's a butterfly life cycle, and you can see some video, some imagery, labels, kind of a timeline feature. You can see some of those elements. If I click on the images, then they'll come up here. So I'm thinking that might be a monarch caterpillar. There's a monarch butterfly. Not quite. It looks like one, but it's not quite. And then the video would appear. This video I don't think appears. I think they took it down. This was just a template that we found. You can maximize it to full screen as well. That might be a good idea. then I'll just flip through, show you a couple of other examples.
Sean?
Hi.
Really quickly, I just want to add that a part of the research that's been done, and a lot of it suggests that if students, and the cool thing about this is you can add accounts for students and let students create their own glog, and it's kind of like a report, and when the students build it and develop it, it's a very, very beneficial activity, higher order thinking skills and retention, and a really good way to help students retain the knowledge if they develop it in this format and present it and share it with the class as well, the other students, cohort.
Absolutely. I'm involved so that they're not just active recipients of information, but they can be contributors and creators, get those higher level Bloom's taxonomy verbs in the description there. So that's an example of audio right there. Let's see, search for videos. Very fun, very interactive. Yeah, so let me hop back over there. All right, so we have one more platform I want to share with you, which is Padlet. Right here, so I'm going to click on the Padlet page. Here's an example of what a Padlet would look like. You can think of Padlet as something of a bulletin board where you pin things on there, not Pinterest necessarily, but more like you take Post-it notes or pin elements up there. And the interesting thing about Padlet is you can make it collaborative, and it's not just you sharing information with the students, but the students can collaborate and they can contribute to a board. So I'm going to go ahead and make a Padlet. I'm going to start my board. The default, they say my fancy Padlet. I'm going to say my serious Padlet because I'm in academics and whatever. But I'll keep made with a wish and a star, because that's how academics is sometimes. So I can search for a background. Speaking of a bulletin board that you can pin things on there, you can have a corkboard as the background. You can have a Simpsons background. Looks like there's a lot of different Simpsons flares there. I'm going to go with this is called paparazzi. It's kind of a bokeh effect of light. Maybe Nori. That one looks pretty interesting. I guess that was the one we started with. Huh? I guess I'll stick with what they give me. And then I can choose an icon that reflects the nature of this, maybe a light bulb. And then posting, so I can have attribution, so the name of the author who posts above each of the posts. Allow comments, I'll allow comments on there. It can be disabled at any time. I can tag this. I can tag it as psychology or the name of my class. And then here's the address to my Padlet. So it's padlet.com/your username, and then a distinct alphanumeric for that. Oh, and I skipped over the layout options. The default here is grid, so everything will be sequential, kind of like adding things to the cells of a table, or it could be freeform, meaning I could post something here, there, wherever. And then you can choose, do you want this just to be a private thing that you see, or a password protected thing you might consider for a class, or just a secret thing that people can't search for it, but if they have the QR code or if they have the URL to your Padlet, then they can access it. And then those who can access it, what can they do? Can they just read it? Is it something you're disseminating to students, or can they write or have other privileges? You can manually add contributors. If the student signed up for Padlet, you can put their usernames in there. So I'll go ahead and click next. So what did I choose? I chose it's secret, but contributors or people can write on it and contribute to my board. And now I'm all set. I can start posting. And so I'll click something here. It can be a note. I can record audio or a webcam. upload a picture, attach a document. I can just write something, a title. So you can see my name because I chose to have the name up top there. And so my title, whatever I write, choose the attachment there. And then, let's see, this is freeform I chose, and so I can just place this anywhere. You could even have students, if it's a small class, like if you're teaching graduate students or something, each student could have an area on your bulletin board or something, and you can drag it down, drag it to the right or down, and extend it, make it as big as you need to. And then the options for sharing, I guess I didn't save that, but let me just post one thing just for the sake of if somebody's saying this is cool. Anonymous, make yourself known. I don't know. Psychology. I'm not being very creative today, but there's my psychology posts, my section right there. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and share this. There's a QR code. I could copy this, print it, or if I open it as an image, then I have the URL there, and within a content page, I could put the image in there. What I'm looking for is I want to embed this, and it's going to look pretty ugly. I mean, to be honest, this isn't very built out yet, except for I appreciate Anonymous contributing there. So I'm going to go ahead and copy a page, hop back over to modules. Looks like we already have, let's see, we have sample Padlet. Let's just look at this. So here's an example of what one might look like. Kind of like Pinterest in a way, but you can also have it freeform, which is interesting. So I'll go ahead and create another content page. Our Padlet, our little Padlet. I'm going to indent that one. Put it at the bottom. We'll go to edit, hop into HTML editor. I'm just going to paste the code they gave me. Now if I wanted, I could include a brief description. This is my description. And I can save that, and then you can see how it embeds on there. And I can edit that even on there. I can share it. I can contribute right within Canvas, so you don't even have to go out to, you don't need the students to go out to this page necessarily. You know, wow, that pops up right away, doesn't it? Pretty fun. Oops, I want to add one more thing. Literally, one more thing. Hop back here, and yeah, it syncs up pretty quickly. Pretty impressive. You can copy the link and you can email it to the students. At the end of the term or the end of the module, whichever, go ahead and save it as an image maybe and email it. I don't know why you would save it as an Excel spreadsheet, but people know things about other things better than I do. So that's my serious Padlet right there. So yeah, feel free to explore that further, and again, like the previous thing we looked at, it's a good way to get students interacting with each other. It's a creative way, I think, to get them sharing ideas with each other. And it's kind of like a Glockster, but it's more collaborative, I would say. But it is distinct as well because you're pinning things and sharing. I think of it as like Post-it notes. My desk is littered with Post-it notes grouped into different projects, and that's kind of how I think. And so Padlet is kind of like a virtual Post-it note conglomeration, like what I use. So with that, those are the resources that I want to share. Wanted to make this a little bit shorter today than the past ones. We're finishing about 40 minutes. If any of you have any questions or concerns, feel free to explore these pages that we went through today. I'll have a post up later today on the Canvas network on my blog page with the links to all of these web pages. and so you can look out for that.